I'm gonna start a new game plus file. Um, I guess I'll do it. It doesn't really matter. I'll just do it over top of one of these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you exactly what it records here. Since Valis is the first Colossus, it's easy to see. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my way to Valis here. And I'm gonna go ahead and right before I trigger the cutscene, I'm going to press the pause button and check the stats. And then I'll see what the timer is at. And then after the cutscene, I will open up the stats. Immediately after, I'll open up the stats. And actually, I'll just use this as an example here of the in-game timer not recording cutscenes. So right before I hit here, I'm going to pause, check the stats. You'll see it's at 39 minutes, 23 seconds. Once I unpause the game and the cutscene finishes, I'll open up the menu, and you'll see that it's probably only a second or two advanced from that, and that's from like actually going into the cutscene and coming out. So it should be around 39 minutes 24 seconds. I'll go ahead and I'll wait a little bit for the cutscene, or I'll just like let it end. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip it now. I'm smashing the pause button. Okay, you'll see right there it added a few seconds. That's because when the cutscene ends, you have control over Wander, but you can't press pause. And the in-game timer records anytime you have control of Wander. So that's why that extra second or two was put in there, because of that reason. So we know that it does not record static cutscenes. And so now I'm going to go ahead and make my way to Valis. And like I said before the cutscene on Valis, I'll press pause and I'll check the statistics. I guess I could also show you that it doesn't record like Colossus cutscenes. So like I'll hit stats here. You'll see it's at 39 minutes 54 seconds. That next time I hit pause, it could be pretty close to 49 minutes because of the time it takes to walk into the cutscene and the time for the black bar to disappear afterward. But it shouldn't add any more than that. I'll show you right here. The cutscene's playing. And then I'm going to go ahead and pause at the first opportunity I can to check the stats. So it should have only added like 2 or 3 seconds there, maybe 4 at the most. Yep, and as you can see right there, did not record that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and trigger the cutscene, but before I do that, I'll press the pause button, check the stats. By the way, just as a little information here, I'll let you know after. I stabbed. So 40 minutes, 11 seconds. After the cutscene plays, I'll show you exactly what it's at after that. They recorded the entire cutscene. And I'll even double check it when I do the time attacks later on in the video. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that it does count the tendril scene. So after I get the last stab on Valis, or right before I should say, I'm going to check the stats. So right now, I'm going to check the stats. 40 minutes, 30 seconds, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let the tendrils hit me. You can't check the stats after you defeat a Colossus, unfortunately. But afterwards, when you spawn back into the temple, after being hit by the tendrils, you can check. And so that should add another, 5-6 seconds. I'll make sure to run away from the tendrils to try to get as much time as possible from that. So we just have to wait out this cutscene. Also, interestingly enough, we found out that if you have Dormin hints on, the cutscene skip is possible. So if that's something you're into, and we do end up using in-game time, you can have Dormin hints on, and it'll be probably easier for you to mount Val. So that should definitely add like 5 or 6 seconds to the in-game timer, maybe 7. Let's just go ahead and double check once we spawn back in here. I don't remember what it was at actually, but I'm pretty sure it was at 40-30. But you can clearly see that it added time there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and conduct another test here. Just so you guys can see that even at longer lengths, the timer is still exactly 10% slower. I'll check right now, and we'll see that the playtime, the normal playtime, is 40 minutes, 43 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually let the real time go for double of 100 seconds, so 200 seconds, and that'll be 3 minutes 20 seconds. And then after 3 minutes and 20 seconds, I will pause both, and I'll check the stats, and it should be technically 180 minutes. So it'll add exactly 3 minutes. Alright, so it'll be at 43:43. I'm going to go ahead and start that in 3, 2, 1. We can do anything, by the way, as long as we don't trigger a cutscene. So the in-game timer tracks any time you can physically move Wander. So that would be anytime before the black bars fade away, any movable cutscene like Barba, Valis, Cenobia. It does not track cutscenes where you are stagnant or you're moved by something else, like being on aggro. So like for example Dirge or like Pelagia, anything that where the time like physically stop and you cannot move, that is what it does not track. We also know that it does track the Dormian sections. I probably won't put that in this video just because I have to like watch the cutscenes. I don't know if I really feel like editing a super long video show that off, but I did do testing. I tested Distortion 2's world record time with what the in-game timer tracks specific sections, and when I got all my in-game time, with 100% normal speed. I then multiplied that by 0.9, and I was within 7 seconds. So the 7 seconds is most likely human error. So we have another about minute and 20 seconds.
Abro. 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 Abro.
I don't think there's anything else to add when it comes to the in-game timer. As far as death cutscenes go, it tracks all the way until the menu appears. So there's that. So also make retries and like deaths not as harsh by just a little bit. So I think that's also a positive. It promotes actually playing the Colossus faster and more risky, which could actually in turn lead to the game being pushed even further. So that's just my personal perspective on the matter. I think in-game time is actually wonderful, and as you'll see in just about 4 seconds, it's consistent. So it should be at 43:43, correct? 43:43.